Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Here you are. Summer is over. We're heading into the deep, dark depths of winter, but it's a good thing. I love snow. Snow's made me who I am. And giving you the race report live here from Ironman, Florida. Yeah, we wanted to give it to you right after Florida, but we had to scratch that whole interview. I kind of had too many thoughts, and it was a very interesting race, so I'll give you the blow by blow, but most importantly, I learned a tremendous amount from this race, and that's the analysis that really matters. I mean, the day started off great for me. I really had my best ever swim I've ever done. Uh, it was a two-loop swim, so the first loop, well, even before the first loop, we got out, and I was right up front. I was maybe the top 10 guys at that first buoy, and then I just relaxed, and my heart rate was pretty calm, pretty low. I was feeling nice and steady. Kind of through that whole first lap, there were a few surges where the group kind of tried to get narrowed down a bit, but I actually had no issue making those surges. So I was completely elated. I got out on the beach. My heart rate actually was not too high even on the beach run. Then got back in the water, and I was like, wow, I feel way better for this second loop than I did for the first loop. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be my first time coming out with the group. I could still see the lead paddleboarder. Everything was going great. And then with all the age groupers on the second loop, like 100 meters into the second loop, we hit this big group of age groupers, and it was like I got like stopped and everyone else kept going, and next thing I knew I was like 25 meters behind the group, and then just had to hustle my way kind of on my own, and I just still kept it like in control. I didn't want to spike the heart rate, and so it set me up really well, but we'll get to the bike here, but I had never come out that close to the group, so I saw them leaving transition, and I was a bit like, oh, let me just surge up and catch the group like basically as fast as I can, which I think in hindsight might have been a little bit of a mistake. I might have bridged up too fast. They did like 325 watts for the first hour, kind of catching up. And in my mind, I told myself like, oh, it'll be perfect. I'll just catch up and then I'll sit in and like rest and make my moves later on in the bike. But my name is Mr. Impatient, and I then caught up. I sat in the back. I think I sat there for about 10 minutes. And then I was like, screw this, man. Let's make some moves. And I saw like Chris and Andy. They were up at the front already kind of making a bit of a move. But I just passed everyone in one fell swoop and then kind of just laid the hammer on and honestly burned a few more matches that I maybe should have saved for later. So that was a big learning lesson. But it was actually a smart move to get us all separated. So then Matt Russell came as well. So then it was the four of us, me, Chris, Andy, and Matt Russell. And this is when the race really started and when it really got interesting. So then it was only two of us pulling. Only Andy and myself really pulled till 100 miles. And I let it get a bit too much to my head. I kind of would keep waiting for Chris to come through, and he wouldn't come through. And yeah, like I think about it like a NBA championship or an NFL championship. It's like playoff experience, and I just had zero playoff experience in this, and all those other guys, they've all been at Kona, they've all won more Ironmans, they've all really learned to play those group dynamics, and I kind of let them play me, and it's nobody's fault but my own, and I'd wave him through, and he wouldn't come through, and so then I was like, well, the time's ticking, like I wanted to get more of a lead. I guess I told myself I believed in my run, but I guess I didn't believe in it enough, but now I do, actually, and what I should have done is like sat up and said, hey, like you don't want to pull? Okay, no problem. I'm not pulling either. Like let's let Matt Hansen and Cody Beals catch us. I already have a Kona spot. You don't. Let's see if you want to risk getting a Kona spot there. And I'm sure he then would have pulled and we would have had a bit more of a fair-footed race. But honestly, brilliant tactics on him and brilliant way to play me for a fool. And anyway, so then we kind of kept going, and I just let it get to me, and kept trying to get away, and then Andy kind of acted as the super domestique for Chris Lieferman. I'd get away, and he just followed his race plan, and I don't think he was aware of how much he was benefiting Chris. He would keep bridging Chris back up to me, so then we're all there, and I just kept letting it get to my head, and then those surges cost me a bit, and then I must have not taken in enough calories, and that surge early on in the bike costed me, because then let's just say that at 100 miles, I went from feeling great, like, oh, I'm going to lay down the hammer here, and then 30 seconds later, I could only ride at 200 watts. And that was like a very, very hard way to end the bike. Like, I even had to stop. I literally had to stop and stretch. And I thought my race was over, but thankfully, because of COVID and it being the only race, I was like, I owe it to myself to get to transition, and I owe it to myself to start the run. So then I hobbled through transition. There's some footage. People got videos. I'm hoping we can get our hands on it because it's like pretty epic. I pounded 4 gels in the first half mile of the run, so 400 calories, a bunch of caffeine, and then just kind of started to find my stride. I honestly thought my race was over. I was just like trying to finish at that point. So I then maybe made another tactical mistake. I was cheering all my competitors on the first lap. I'd see Chris and I'd see Matt passing. I was like, man, you're doing great. Go and get it. Like, have a great race. And I literally cheered everyone on. I saw Cody. I think I said, like, come on, man, you can come and pass me. And then anyways, the second lap, I was like, actually, I feel the best I've felt now since like 100 miles on the bike. And so then really kind of started to get in the hunt again. And
at what point did you feel like you were back in the race? And you're like, oh, you were always in the race, but at what point
yeah.
Were you like, oh, I can actually...
It was like mile 15 of the run that I was like, whoa, this is actually a race again. Like, I think I was in 5th place at that point. But at that point I was like, whoa, like if I run well, I could, in the moment it was to get 4th. But then I was like, oh, maybe I can even do better than that. And then I just really started committing. And like, we literally always say, oh, we dream about like you're in the final 5K of an Ironman. And it's like, if you can run well, you can move up to 2nd place or 1st place or 3rd place. And that was the situation. And let me tell you, when you're in that situation, you're going, this is the worst freaking thing ever. Why do we imagine this? Because you literally have to kill yourself. But it was so amazing to be chasing Chris and to be chasing Matt, both guys who have honestly always absolutely handed it to me in an Ironman. And to be the one who wasn't running in fear off the bike with the lead, but to be the one who was the rabbit chasing the suckers down was like something that was a huge improvement. And of course they held me off, but it's a different mindset when you're coming from behind, and it's absolutely going to change how I race in the future. So I'm incredibly proud of how I got off the bike and thought my race was over, and then just kept putting one foot in front of the other and managed to get back in. And then when it really counted, I was able to kill myself. So that's what's important. Yeah, biggest lesson, I mean, be patient and experience matters. I'd say that. Like it's a long day. It's don't let other people play you for a fool. Like I don't want to sound off-putting when I say this, but I really think I was the most fit guy there, but that I got outplayed and outsmarted, and that's absolutely racing. And for that, I give it to Chris, because I would far rather be a less fit guy and be able to beat someone than be more fit and get beat. So hats off to him, hats off to Matt. You guys have challenged my game and given me nightmares for the last few days, and most importantly, you guys will have stepped up my game for the future. Oh, what's next? The big question.
Too early?
I know, we got to start getting ready for Daytona. I will be racing again this year. Right now, my body is aching and sore, and I'm tired, but I'm also elated. And yeah, I'm in a great place relationship-wise, and I had a tough spot in my life after those first 2 wins that I didn't enjoy or celebrate all the hard work. So I'm giving myself this week to enjoy and celebrate all the hard work that's gone into what has been a great season. But I'm also still very hungry for more, and I'm especially hungry for more after getting my ass kicked. So that's the best part. That's the race, guys, and I know we all loved having Kenny out there. I know all the other racers loved having Kenny out there to get the footage. And like, comment, subscribe. Let's keep making it happen.